Tony Gonsolin's elbow is still attached. It just doesn't work. Other coaches are noticing USC football's commitment to both recruiting and defense. And before the Kings go big game hunting, they might want to remember Anze Kopitar. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is June 9th, 2025. By the time you see this clip, I'll be boarding the plane, heading home for work, and I totally can't wait. Hey, we added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 7, St. Louis 2. The Dodgers' magic number slips to 97. And LAFC defeated Sporting Kansas City 3-1. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers go to Slime Diego at 6:40. In lieu of winning an actual World Series, welcome to the Padres version of a World Series. But guys, just do us all a favor. Don't invite the supporters for Slime Diego FC, okay? I think we've all seen enough of that. And Golden State is at the Sparks at 7 o'clock. What do you say we get to the news? Tony Gonsolin's elbow ligament is still attached, everybody. Yay! That's the result of an MRI that was done on the dude yesterday. Dave Roberts told the LA Daily News that the results are just fabulous. After all, who the hell wants to go through 2 Tommy John surgeries in less than 2 years, right? But, according to Roberts, quote, he's going to be down from throwing. I don't know when that's going to be again, unquote. Moreover, they don't even know what's causing the pain yet. Maybe it's scar tissue from the Tommy John surgery. Maybe the joint muscles became inflamed. Maybe it's just being in St. Louis just makes you want to do self-harm. I don't know. Could have been any number of things. So, obviously, the Dodgers, with 14 pitchers on the injured list and 8 starters, they're looking for solutions. They currently have, a half dozen dudes who had Tommy John surgery to potentially choose from. So you look, and there's Emmett Sheehan, who pitched his 3rd rehab assignment Saturday in the Midwest Manure Pit. He got into the 4th inning. He allowed a run, 4 strikeouts through 58 pitches. But here's the thing. Sheehan only got into the 4th. He didn't even register it out. Roberts has plenty of guys who can get you 3 innings. Ones that could go 6? Not so much. So what we do know is this. Sheehan has to build up. Roberts has often talked about a pitcher getting into the 6th inning before he would consider having him in the rotation. Sheehan, therefore, could be back before the All-Star break. So he's not an immediate solution. But he is a potential solution in a couple of months. I'm not sure how much faith I have in the reportage of USA Today's Bob Nightingale. He once claimed, for example, that Trevor Bauer had signed with the Mets. He even tweeted something that made it appear as if Bryce Harper had died. But Nightingale is reporting that the Dodgers are in the trade market. For more pitchers to maim? No. But for left-handed hitting that would come off the bench. Not exactly earth-shattering news, but considering how the Dodgers crave balance in their lineup, that could move a needle. Meanwhile, over at USC, cornerback Peyton Dyer has switched his alleged commitment from one USC to the real USC. In other words, from South Carolina to the Trojans. He is the 28th pledge to USC football in the class of 2026. He's the 5th cornerback in that class. Now, it's a little difficult to pinpoint where he's going to fit in. Now, that doesn't mean he sucks. It just means that despite the fact that he's listed as a corner, he's also played nickel, he's played safety, but there is a downside. He's from Georgia, so be wary. Kids from the Southeast have this annoying character flaw of going back on their word. But an anonymous Big Ten coach, meanwhile, expects USC to make a significant jump in the conference this year. Quote, "The talk is all about Lincoln Riley making another elite quarterback, but I think the metric here should be how much that defense can improve both on the field and in recruiting. I think they take a jump this year because they're bringing in more talented players into a proven system. Watch the defense. If they take that next step, we're talking about a team that can go in and play with the best programs in the nation again." Unquote. So reasons for cautious optimism with USC football. We've been discussing whether the Kings will go big game hunting this offseason, a free agent in an attempt to finally pass Edmonton in the playoffs, because hell, if they could pass Edmonton, maybe they have the path to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Dare to dream. There is a little known footnote, I should say, to the Kings offseason. Because we've been talking about Toronto's upcoming free agent, Mitch Marner, and how he's a winger and how the Kings would love to add a guy who can drop 100 points. But Anze Kopitar and Adrian Kempe. Kopitar is eligible for an extension beginning July 1st. Now, I will grant you the dude is currently under contract for next year, and he is also 37 years old. But can you really say his game has dropped off that much? Can you? I can't. So this would be a pretty decent time to ask him if he's cool with a team-friendly extension for another year. Because, by the way, with regards to Kempe, his contract also expires after next season, and that dude is going to want a massive pay hike. He has been money for the Kings. Major League Soccer made a proposal to the Players Association that would give players from LAFC, along with Seattle and Miami, just a few more breadcrumbs for participating in the upcoming billion-dollar FIFA World Cup. Oh, ignore the billion. Here's your breadcrumbs. Here's your breadcrumbs. Here, snack up, guys. Now, the association has not officially rejected it. Officially rejected? No. Called it a turd salad? Absolutely. They say it is 20% below the international standard. Now, under the current collective bargaining agreement that MLS has with their Players Association, players receive 50% of money from outside tournaments, which sounds fair until you realize there is a cap of $1 million. And again, the Club World Cup is a billion-dollar enterprise. If you're an LAFC player, and the Players Association is being accurate or truthful with regards to this proposal, and believe you me, there may be some gamesmanship going on here. This is a negotiation after all. Ask yourself, if you're an LAFC player, at what point do you tap the brakes? I'm not saying throw a game, right? But look at what LAFC has. They're likely going to qualify for MLS Cup playoffs, right? They've already played in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and then they have that idiotic Leagues Cup concoction that MLS dreamed up to squeeze even more cash out of the Apple TV deal. LAFC, for the last couple of years, has been playing a minimum of 50 matches a year, and they're going to pass that again. That is a lot of mileage. That's a ton of mileage. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that the players are going to quit. I'm not trying to say that the players are going to throw a game. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that these poor guys are being run around like dogs. And what do they have to show for it in this cheapskate league? right? Now, having said that, again, I'm not suggesting they quit or throw games. They're not going to strike either, because a work stoppage by MLS players over this bonus dispute is not possible. Provisions in the CBA will basically make any attempt at a strike illegal. But they still have the right to engage in protective actions under federal labor law. Now, whatever the hell that means, I have no idea. Either way, we got to call it for what it is. Even if you hate LAFC, if you're a Galaxy supporter, as I am, you have to kind of admit the black and gold are getting screwed big time. And it's not just the money. Consider the Seattle Sounders, who also were in this Club World Cup. All of the pool games that they're in are going to be in Seattle. LAFC has 0 home games, and not only that, they're not even on the West Coast. Their debut is going to be against Chelsea in Atlanta on the 16th. So, thanks for coming, guys. Please enjoy your food stamps and a cross-country flight on Frontier. Thank you, MLS. Aaron Donald did post a clip on his Instagram account of the workout he had with Rams defensive end Jared Verse. And you know, we've been having a little fun with the Defensive Rookie of the Year challenging the Rams legend. After all, the only thing Donald is more of a legend in than football is working out. And if you've seen the clip, it is obvious Donald ran Verse right into the ground, because Donald's the only one smiling. He's smiling with every rep. But if you're the Rams, jokes aside, you are elated that Jared Verse did this. You have to be. Yeah, he's going to get messed around with by his teammates, but the idea that he could incorporate Aaron Donald's approach, you make that. You absolutely cherish Jared Verse for doing that. Meanwhile, there's a bromance brewing with the Rams. Rookie tight end Terrence Ferguson has all the joy, all the feels. Quote, "We watched a lot of the Rams offense at Oregon. Took some plays and some ideas from Coach McVay, and this offense, so being able to watch it beforehand and also get into it, obviously it's very complex, but it's a great offense to be in. I've seen a little bit of it. High expectations, and it succeeded that. So it's been amazing," unquote. And by the way, Ferguson also singled out Tyler Higbee as a major help, which is interesting in the sense that the more the rookie excels, maybe Higbee loses snaps? Maybe. The Rams run a lot of 11 personnel. McVay has hinted at utilizing 2 tight ends more this year. We'll see how that works out. Former USC basketball player Desmond Claude finally chose another school. He's going to Washington. He allegedly had offers from Auburn, Gonzaga, and yet he chose a team that went 13-18 last year. It's your life, bruh. And speaking of basketball, ESPN has released a big board of NBA draft prospects and listed former UCLA and USC swingman Kobe Johnson as 80th, which means he probably has a puncher's chance of getting drafted. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about Tony Gonsolin or Emmett Sheehan and the state of the Dodger pitching staff. For that matter, are you starting to believe in USC football again? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.